We are a third of the way through. I guess that's not true, but this video will make it a third of the way through. Let's see who we get to talk about. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Best team in the league? Maybe? The Thunder. Oh, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be interesting. Let's start with the obvious. The Thunder have had the best year, in my opinion, by far among any team in the entire league. Obviously, in the Western Conference, they've already clinched the 1 seed. They're 13 and a half games above the 2nd seed. Like they have been the dominant force in the Western Conference, but not even just the West, but also in the East, just the NBA in general. They have a team built around Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who is arguably the MVP. I would argue otherwise as a Nuggets fan, but you know, we're not going to talk about that right now. But they have a team built around Shea, and it's perfectly built because they have a rising all-star in Jalen Williams. They have Chet Holmgren, who has been injured for most of the year, but is coming back and is playing good basketball. They have I'm blanking. They have defenders in Lou Dort. They have literally everything you can possibly want. I mean, look at this. Look at this lineup right now. Shea, Case and Wallace. I forgot about Case and Wallace. I don't know how I forgot about Case and Wallace. Baller. Lou Dort, baller. Jalen Williams, baller. Chet Holmgren, baller. And then after that, they have like 12 guys they can play. Alex Caruso, Isaiah Joe, all having both having phenomenal years. Aaron Wiggins, he says he's out. I don't know why. I'm gonna be honest. Cameron Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, the best backup big. Well, one of the best backup bigs in the league. He's rising. They paid him like this team is really good. And then you got Jalen Williams. If you didn't see, he had a game that he went off a few games ago for them. They have AJ Mitchell, the rookie. Dylan Jones, I think, is a rookie. And they have every single first round pick imaginable for the next 100 years. Like, it's insane. Like, that's what's so crazy about this team. They have maybe the best starting five in all of basketball. And on top of that, they have maybe the best bench in all of basketball. Again, Boston fans, you can argue all you want. This team is unbelievable, and it's perfectly built. All that matters for them is to stay healthy, because if they stay healthy, they will be a problem. And on top of all this, they have they're so fun to watch, like offensively, defensively. They have everything you want in a team that you want to watch, and a team that wins, and a team that has stars, and a team that, like, they have everything. So this leads into the question of what is the biggest uh, struggle or area of doubt for the Thunder, and I would argue that it's their lack of experience. And I think, and that's just in the playoffs. 2 seasons ago, they went to the playing tournament. They were the 10 seed. I believe they ended up winning and getting into the A seed. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Um, but then last season they were the 1 seed, and it was very close between them and Denver and someone else that I'm forgetting, I think. But regardless, that is their issue. Their issue is the fact that they don't have experience. They ended last year. They were the 1 seed, got bounced in round two by Mavericks, who ended up going to the finals. And obviously Dallas isn't a team anymore, basically. But um, yeah, I think that's going to be their biggest weakness. Can they overcome the not having experience in that? But I do think there's a counter argument. And if you look at every single team in the entire Western Conference, I think that they'll be okay, because a few of the good other teams also don't have as much playoff experience. You go down the list. The Rockets are the 2 seed right now. The Rockets are very inexperienced. They haven't been there before. The Nuggets obviously won a championship, so they have experience. The Lakers have LeBron and Luka, so obviously they have experience. Memphis a couple years ago was really good. They were injured last season, so maybe they'll have rust. I don't really know. The Clippers have a lot of veteran players. I wouldn't put them in a I don't think they're good enough, and I'll get to that in a later video. But the Warriors obviously have experience. The Timberwolves, uh, they have experience too. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do believe that this is going to be their biggest issue. Um, but that's not saying much, because there isn't really any other team outside of the Nuggets and Lakers and the Warriors who have a lot of playoff experience. And each and every all three of those teams that I just named, each are very inconsistent teams. And so, if the Thunder can stay consistent, obviously that's the goal. If you can stay consistent, they will be okay. I think that we need to talk about the future of the OKC Thunder, though. And the reason I say that is because I think there's a lot of people who just have the assumption that the Thunder are going to be good for a very long time because they have so many draft picks and so many young players. But the problem is there's a second apron now. And I will say this before I go on a rampage, but I don't really understand the second apron rules. I just know that it makes it harder to build crazy, crazy teams. So what's going to be hard for the Thunder is obviously they have all of their picks they have the 100,000 picks that they have, but the issue that I'm running into with them is how are they going to end up spending their money when they have so many guys they need to pay? So many guys. They have SGA. They want to keep J Dub around. They want to keep Chet Holmgren around. And then they're paying all of their other pieces a lot of money. You have the top guys everywhere, and I don't. I guess I would question the legitimacy of the Thunder are going to be good for a very long time because they're young and because they have picks. I just don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Each one of the players on the Thunder, I think, has a bright, bright future. The problem is they, like I said before, they have to spend their money wisely, and they have to hit on every single, well, I guess not every single one, almost every single one of their picks in order to keep their team under that second apron that I talked about. Like, let's look at their payroll, right? They have Shea locked up, great. They have, I'm going to skip over Hartenstein. I'll talk about it in a second. They have Lou Dort locked up for, I think, a pretty good contract, I'd say. Isaiah Joe's locked up for a while. Aaron Wiggins, great. Caruso, great. What they need to worry about is this guy right here, Jalen Williams. They need to worry about where's Chet. There's Chet. They need to make sure they have him locked up. Then after that, what are they going to do? Because Alex Caruso is making $20 million for the next 52 years. That extension made sense. Alex Caruso is a great player. I'm going to talk about it with Hartenstein too. Isaiah Hartenstein is a great, great player. The problem is they have to be smart about what they want to invest in. And I think Hartenstein isn't a horrible choice because Chet is injury prone. But bro, like you can't just you're gonna have to let some dudes walk. You might have to let Kenrich Williams walk. Like he might be too expensive. You might need to let uh who am I thinking of? Casey Wallace is gonna end up leaving at some point. Yeah, that's 3 years down the line. But like they have to hit on their draft picks if they want to keep this team around, because if they don't hit on draft picks, their team is gonna become too expensive. So where should the Thunder go from here? I think what they need to do right now is nothing. Nothing right now. They need to draft well. They need to keep their team intact right now until it ends up being too expensive. And because they're so dominant, their window is right now. This is their window. The next 3, 4, 5 years is the Oklahoma City Thunder's window, guaranteed, if they keep this team around, and you can worry about the money situation later. Obviously, I don't know what the Thunder front office is thinking, but I believe that they should be thinking we need to win right now, and that is why they're going all in on all of these guys, locking them up. Excuse me. And so, yes, I'm bringing up all these concerns now because I do have legitimate concern at some point to where the Thunder may end up struggling because their team is too expensive. But I think right now that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I think the Thunder need to focus on right now. They need to focus on making sure Shea stays around. They need to make sure Chet stays around, make sure J-Dub stays around, and the rest deal with later. You have picks. You can make trades. You can do everything that you possibly want if you want to shift around the roster, but that is not a concern right now. Draft well, keep your guys. That's it. That's what the Thunder need to do if they want to win a championship within the next 3, 4, 5 years. So, with that, thanks for watching. This is day 10, like I said, of the 30 teams, 30 videos. If you haven't already, please, support is awesome. Subscribe would be awesome. Obviously, I'm not forcing you to, but it would be great. Support is awesome if you do. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. Yes, 100, slowly but surely. Thanks for watching. Peace.